I mean, this is why I wanted this pond, for that window view, which is really fun to reach into a pond when there's a, you know, exposed wire going straight into the water. And you take your really big hammer. What is up, everybody, and welcome to today's video. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Zach. This is SC Fish Keeping. I appreciate you stopping by. Please hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already, and as always, a very special thank you to all of my members tuning in. Now, if you remember a couple videos ago, I showed you me setting up this really awesome pond right here with that really unique feature of having the clear front. In that video, I asked you what fish you wanted to see in it. We kind of ran through some options, but you guys had some great ideas. And after many sleepless nights...
What keeps you up at night? Pondering deep questions? Excitement about a big pond? Or is it stress about pond?
I finally figured out what I wanted to do.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
Of course, I don't get to do any of it, because why would I get to do something that I was really excited about and had all planned out before something else bad happened down here in the fish room? Because that's kind of, you know, how it's going lately, and so maybe I shouldn't be surprised. But it does make me wonder if I'm the only one who has ever thought about taking a hammer to the problem. Well, not this hammer, but rather this one. And of course, the problem being aquarium. So maybe you just go outside and you grab an aquarium and you grab your really big hammer and you take your aquarium, you set it down, and you take your really big hammer oops. Well, I missed the fish tank. That was on purpose. I'm tearing at the deck, and it just seemed like way more fun than just diving straight into the problem and telling you what happened in the fish room. And, you know, I just want to take a hammer to this deck for so long. So yeah, let's go back inside. I'll tell you what happened in the fish room. That was fun. That is what happened to the pond. And you can probably see the issue of where this water has gone. The pond leaked, which is nothing new for this pond. I've had nothing but issues with this pond since I bought it like almost 3 years ago. You can see that was a patch from when I first got this pool. It had a pin-sized hole from Go, and then just over time, I mean, you can see the residual, like this kind of residue that gets pushed out whenever there's a leak. So this pond has leaked so much, but now the issue is I have a steady kind of flow of water, and you can see. I think this pool had a good run though. We put it through a lot. There were a lot of different fish that came in and out of this pond. Honestly, I think these things are only meant to survive a couple years of normal wear and tear use as swimming pools, let alone constantly moving water and giant fish. So I loved it. I still would recommend using pool ponds, even though this thing leaks. Just be ready for leaks. But for me and this particular pool pond, it is on the way out. As you probably guessed, most of the fish that were over here are now in here, in this pond. Which is great because, I mean, look at it. This is why I wanted this pond. This is why I set this pond up, was for that view right there. I mean, look at that pacu. That's a pacu in a pond that I'm laying next to, and we can all see it. Tiger shovelnose, the vieja. I mean, this is why I wanted this pond, for that window view, and it hasn't disappointed. It's actually kind of given some cool feeding opportunities, which, you know, we'll get to. Yeah. Hi, bud. Hungry? So here's the issue with setting this pond up the way that I had to do it. Is it, you know, the way that I wanted it to look? No. Are these the fish that I wanted to put in there? No. Do these fish have enough room in this pond with 2 giant hybrid catfish, 2 big pacu, a marble achara, a tiger shovel nose, and a vieja? No. Does it work? Yes, but is it technically enough room? Absolutely not. So this is not the way that I wanted to do it, but I'd be, what's the word, remiss if I didn't say that I am fortunate enough that this thing was sitting empty, so that as soon as that pond started leaking, I was able to move all their media over to the filter, which I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. I was able to move all their media over. I ran water straight from that pond into this one, and then was able to transfer the fish immediately with minimal stress and no loss of life. Now, most of the fish that were over there are in here. There is one that I moved over to the 300-gallon stock tank, and I haven't shown him on the channel yet, so I'm just giving you this little kind of teaser, but his nose is there and his tail is out there, and he's in with the golden or albino Chinese whales. But we'll talk about him in another video. And of course the problems continued after I moved the fish into this pond. After I got the fish in there and had their heater set up, this is an 800 watt, like $90 heater, and the pacu decided to go ahead and take a nibble on that cord, which is really fun to reach into a pond when there's a, you know, exposed wire going straight into the water. I mean, you could probably guess what happened there. So yeah, maybe now the little bit with the hammer makes a little bit more sense, because I'm in a real when it rains it pours situation going on down here in the fish room. But you know, we make do with what we can, and the fish are healthy and obviously very active. I mean, I don't know if you can see them swimming in the filter back there, but they know there's some food in the water. Hi buddy, hi chunk. Yeah, and they're definitely still fun to feed, but I realize with this pond, this isn't the best view in the house anymore. You missed. Pacu got it. That's cool. Come here, jump. Ah, buddy. On it. Gotta take it. There you go. So yeah, really just an awesome feeding experience. These fish are so cool to be able to interact with them like that. And as you can see, they're all active, healthy, just like I said. And Chunk here is still one of the most personable fish I've ever had, as he just lets me, you know, scratch his head. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Is this not why you would buy a pond like this? It's not pretty, the fish are too big, and it has weird plastic buckets for decor. But I love this pond. I seriously, it's doing exactly what I want it to do, even though the fish aren't what will ultimately be in here. Obviously this is not a forever home. They need something much bigger, and that's coming soon. Like I said, I love this pond, and I know you guys love this pond, and I know that through statistics. I made a link available so you guys could go check this pond out on Amazon. It's the Boswell Pond. I made it available so you guys could go click it and try and buy it. And over 2,000 of you from that video clicked on it, which means it sold out incredibly fast. They're sold out. You can't get them right now. I reached out to the guy who's selling these Boswell ponds, and he said that he is getting more sent over to the United States. It's gonna be a few weeks, but my promise to you is that if you do want one of these ponds, as soon as they are available, I will make another video on this pond, and I'll like announce that you can go get them, and we'll have another link and stuff like that, so you guys have your chance to go and buy them. Now, about that filter. This filter is another thing that was sent to me with the purpose of showing it off and giving you guys the opportunity to buy it. It's big. It has, you know, a box here for filter floss. It has a massive box here for sponges, and then the bottom is full of lava rock, and it's all full of water, so it's really heavy. This filter is awesome, and it does a great job of keeping the water clean. I mean, you can see it's crystal clear. Unfortunately, you can't buy this filter right now either, or the behemoth version that was running the pond we're tearing down. Unfortunately, you can't get either of them. The cost to ship those things over here was too expensive, so he pulled them from being sold. And honestly, my #1 complaint or critique of these filters is that they were too expensive. So I'm happy to hear that. Unfortunately, that means they're not available now, and I have no idea when they will be available. So I'm hesitant to really show off those filters because I don't want it to come across like, ha, look what I have, it's so great and you can't buy it. So I don't know, I think what I'm gonna do, actually, let me know down in the comments if you wanna see this. I think I wanna do like a DIY version of it that's less attractive and less efficient, but would get the job done, that's set up in a similar way. So let me know if you wanna see like a DIY filter that's kinda based off of that, and I'll go ahead and make that. And then I have one more question for you that's gonna shape what we do down here in the fish room, and that's, what are we gonna do with this? Space, not the pond. I already said I'm throwing that out. Forgive the mess. What tends to happen is when things flood down here, I just make piles of it where they won't get wet and then come back and clean it up later. And with this pond coming out, you know, I'm just not worried about cleaning it all just yet. But anyway, so this pond sticks out about 10 feet. And as you can see, it gives me a pretty narrow walkway through here to get to like the largemouth bass tank, the albino Chinese whales tank, and then that couch that I don't sit on. So I want to do something different with this space. Obviously, once this pool comes out, we have a lot of room. We can move this tank and just have all this room. And so that's where I need you to tell me what you want to see. Would you rather see me replace this pool pond with another pool pond, maybe one that's bigger, that runs like the full length of this wall, that takes up kind of this whole back half of the fish room, and really see how much water we can get into the space for the cheapest amount of money possible? So that'd be like super DIY, everything looks really cheap, but we get a lot of water and it doesn't cost you guys much if you try and recreate it. So that's option 1, is cheap pool replacement pond. Option number 2, well, it starts in the garage with the 1,200 gallon native pond there. I don't know how else to say it, but I'm sitting on a weird amount of wood. I mean, I have quite a bit of it that I don't know where it came from, and nobody's using it for anything. So option number 2 would be, we could build like a wooden pond. So still DIY, but wooden, really nice pond liner, thick pond liner, less likely to leak, looks much, much nicer. The downside of doing that is the cost of wood right now is ridiculous. So for both me and you, if you wanted to recreate that kind of thing, it would be significantly more expensive. But if you guys want to see it, that's something that I can do, and we'll just take that whole space down in that back corner of the fish room and put this wood to work. So let me know down in the comments what you want to see. And that ultimately leads us back to where we all began, to the deck, because I've got about half of it removed, and that means I have about half of it to go, and I'm really excited to continue ripping this piece of junk apart. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I have going on. How are you? Let's talk. We never talk anymore. No, honestly, I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys know how much I appreciate you sticking with me through this whole YouTube thing. Again, we just hit 50,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable. And, you know, I just love each and every one of you. Truly, I hope you guys know that. So thank you guys for watching this one. Again, let me know what you want to see me do with that space. Let me know if you want to see me do the wood pond, the pool pond, the DIY filter. I mean, I have so many ideas rattling around up in here, and it's just a matter of finding the time to make them, but we'll get there. So let me know down in the comments all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, remember, this is Zach with SC Fish Keeping, reminding you that every fish is a keeper, just not all pool ponds. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. See you.